Hi, my name is John, and today I'll be going through the three biggest changes in the selective school exam that you need to know for 2021 and onwards. Let's get into it.
Bing's Academy, where we learn and grow.
So it was recently reported in 2021 that the selective school exam and the OC exam will be undergoing a massive overhaul in terms of not just its testing, but also its calculation of its scoring, its weighting of the subjects, and even what type of questions that they will be giving. This hasn't really been done before in the history of the actual exam before, especially not in the last 10 to 15 years. So it's absolutely critical to know how this can influence your child if they're actually going for the selective school or even the OC exam next year and onwards. So the biggest thing for this exam is to really know what type of changes it is and how that can potentially impact your child and your chances of getting into a selective school. However, as these changes are ongoing and actually occurring as we are speaking, and not all the information is being released, I will be basing it off the changes that they have indicated that they will be changing, but they are quite general and not in specifics. I may create a video regarding the actual specific changes when they do release further information, but at this stage, it's still quite broad and it's just insight for us to prepare for in the future. So the first change that you need to know is that the selective school exam is not difficult enough. And this may seem a bit of a surprise to you guys, but in the previous years, they've noticed that the gifted students and the people actually taking the exam are at a higher standard than the actual difficulty of all the exams. This is especially the case in the reading exam in particular. It's difficult for them to actually differentiate the top performing students, the medium to high performing students based on the difficulty of the questions. So they're going to likely make the questions more difficult, especially on the reading and writing aspect of things to balance things out. And this leads on to the second insight that I would like to share is that currently the tests are unintentionally weighted towards maths over English. This is supported by analysis of the selective exam where over 50% of the actual GA portion of the exam was actually related to maths. So for students who are actually performing very well in maths, they actually subsequently also perform quite well in GA just because of the nature and structure of the GA exam. However, we can actually suspect that they are going to change up the weighting in regards to this. So instead of GA having a significant amount of maths focused questions, they're probably going to increase the amount of English focused questions in the GA portion, such as vocabulary ones, antonyms and synonyms, and how words relate to each other. So consequently, with more boys actually performing high in maths compared to girls in the previous cohorts, previous years when they actually do the selective exam, they've noticed that more boys actually get higher results overall and actually make it into a selective school compared to females of the same year. So in order for that to be balanced in terms of gender-wise, we are going to, not we, but on a whole, the test is going to be geared towards making sure that they are more evenly weighted. So the third and final change that will actually occur in the selective exam is all centered on the actual test structure, because currently the test structure is too predictable and as a result, coachability is too high. The current format of the test means that it measures on the test performance as opposed to the true ability of the students. Not having difficult questions can actually be a detriment because that means students can actually perform at a higher level when they actually get moderately difficult questions right with higher consistency, which can come from more practice and preparation from coaching, which is why they are trying to change this. As a consequence, it makes it difficult for them to differentiate students who are naturally gifted compared to students who have a very high ability in test taking. In conclusion, there are going to be a lot more changes than what I just mentioned, but in terms of the general sweeping changes, those are probably the three things to look out for the most. If you want anything more specific, or if you want me to do a deeper breakdown of what I think might actually occur in the upcoming selective exam, write it down in the comments below or just give me a message and I'll love to do it. Thanks guys, see you next time.